I really am wondering if who among the Japanese horses is gonna go to France. I really do. You know what I'm talking about. You know what this video is about. Is maybe's ARC video. I am literally like still thinking who's gonna risk it, right? Risk it for the biscuit. I feel like uh Wartenberg should go, right? I feel like he can. Uh but it depends on, does he need to run races there to qualify, or is that Tenno Show Spring runner up qualify him for something, right? I don't know. I'm gonna shift the scene. There we go. I really want Japan to win sooner than later because again, I've said this before. It's their big white whale, right? I feel like this is harder. This is harder than the Kentucky Derby for them, right? And I'm not undermining the Kentucky Derby. Kentucky Derby was one of the biggest races in the world every year, right? And I feel like that's more feasible to get, not really faster, but odds wise. Um, Speaking of the Kentucky Derby, I remember this, and I know this isn't about the Kentucky Derby. This is about just international scope for Japanese horse racing, right? Before the Kentucky Derby, I've been watching a lot of videos, a lot of streams by analysts and whatnot, and a lot of them touch, you know, like bourbon, right? Diamond bourbon or the non bourbon, because they've been chipping over that the non bourbon and Wonder Dean. Like, will Japan get a Kentucky Derby win? And a lot, if not all of them, are like, yeah, they will. It's just a matter of when, right? And a lot of them gave fair takes, and then there's this one dude, this one analyst that most of the time, in my opinion, most of the time has good takes. What he said is something along the lines of, yeah, they're gonna win it, but it's gonna take them a really weak lineup and the best trip. So, from my understanding, and again, I'm a dumbass, right? Is that not only do you need a weak lineup with no clear winner, or the clear winner isn't even that strong, but your Japanese horse needs to have the best trip. Like, what do you think, right? Because hey, look, people tend to forget Japan has been buying American mares for a while now, the best ones. It's it's almost time, right? So anyway, what do you think? Comment below. Anyway, we're gonna go with Maybe's video about the arc, the dream and curse of Japanese horse racing. Uh, I hope Württemberg goes. For me, that's depending on circumstances. I feel like he can grind it out, right? And he shows surprising speed to catch up to Crowdenord. So that's something that they can work with, right? Anyway, let's
For
go.
more than half a century,
3-4
Japanese
minutes.
horse racing has lived through the
Go to
epic
Shippu.
and the sorrow.
Why do you need to put Suzuka and Sora, bro? That breaks my heart.
The pursuit of the arc is both. You might be wondering,
By the way,
and the sorrow. The pursuit of the arc is both.
this trophy looks like a centerpiece for any fancy living room, right?
You might be wondering,
Looks good.
how is it both? After all this decade, Japan has never won the arc. Even people who don't watch horse racing know it is a curse for Japan. But under the relentless challenge lies a series of bittersweet, complex.
Dude, sorry, I'm so sorry. If I was a Japanese billionaire that's into Keiba, I would like, and in my thousands of acres of farmland, I would create uh a gallop that is just very, very bog champ, like have this like this water system that makes the ground really soft, and the northern farm, or the northern farm park or something, the interior gallop that they use for winter, and there's like, I think there's like a couple of those, like instead of those, just muggy, mocky ground for a gallop and just drill there. Now, given that is going to be risky, but hey, because if you don't have a race course specifically for that, if you're rich, you might have. I don't know why nobody has thought of that. Maybe I'm just crazy. Who knows?
As this year's arc approaches, let us unveil the half-century struggle of Japan's challenge. A history of heartbreaks and destiny, a dream so conflicted.
This is such a sad photo because Pasa's like, that close. And by the way, Monju, they made Monju so elegant and sexy at the same time.
That perhaps not even Japan truly understand it. In 1969, Speed simply stepped onto the stage of the arc and finished 11th. And in the next 29 years, only Meijiro Musashi and Sirius simply had tried. Their goal was not necessarily to win. Back in Japan, the sport was still learning to stand. These challengers were pioneers.
Look at that. Look at that photo over there. Look at that. That's amazing.
Proved that Japan wanted to connect with the world. And in 1981, their first international race,
Japan Cup,
was
I knew it.
With the intention of testing itself
because it's the only one.
Just like the challenge toward the arc, Japanese horses were utterly outclassed. Not even that. The winner of the first JC was an American horse no one had even heard of, but won it with the record-breaking fashion.
But isn't Pei the Butler also not really that great of a horse, right?
So racing in Japan was clearly still in preparation.
Yeah.
And the arc was a distant star on the horizon. Until 1999, with the rise of El Condor
Pasa,
challenge to the arc.
Dude, he got a good gate and he got a good break. That's insane.
Finally took its first true form. The 1990s was the biggest generational shift the sport had ever
Overlord
seen.
forehead.
Oakley kept igniting a national
I wonder why. I mean, he is more of a miler.
racing field.
I was gonna ask.
Waves of star horse.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. My wife.
Waves of star horses made Japanese racing enter its golden era. The Arima Kinen became a cultural.
Guys, question. Who was the president of the student council when Rudolph was active? Was she the de facto one from the get-go when she arrived at Tracen? Who was the president? Right?
Spectacle, drawing the largest betting pools anywhere in the world. Therefore, by the end of the decade, the golden generation arrived, and in the heart of this generation, El Condor Pasa stormed the Japan Cup with the largest winning margin at the time, and decided to compete in Europe the following year. To Europe, it was truly shocking for them. They never imagined a horse from Japan would come here, compete,
and an American horse, by the way. An American horse.
And just destroy horses that they thought were good. And they say that before the arc, the jockey of Speed simply came to Paris and told El Condor Pasa's team, I have to come here because I never thought I would live to see Japan come into the arc as a favorite, and I am moved beyond words. The story, the hype, everything made Japan decide to broadcast the arc live for the first time. So when the gate opened, El Condor Pasa leapt to the front. The 1999 arc was stacked with legends. Daylemi, Fantastic Light, Greek Dance, many
Fantastic Light
have made their name into the racing history. Yet down to the final straight, El Condor Pasa was able to lengthen his lead. Only in the final meters did the French champion Monju cash in. Japan finished second. 2 years ago, had anyone suggested that
dude, that is so painful.
Japanese horse could conquer the arc, the idea would have been laughed away. But the truth is right there, and it was this laughed away.
Heavy.
But the truth is right there, and it was this moment, this very moment.
Ooh, that's like a half a length. Holy crap!
Dream was etched into the.
Look at that. This is good editing by Mhybe. Look at that.
This moment, this very moment.
Look at that.
The dream.
That's a good pop transition. That is really good. By the way, she could have just been around here, right? Come on, man. Side games, come on. That's too far. Around here. Near Monju's butt. We could have had the whole like, oh, she's taking she's getting her second win, and then Moju's just like,
was etched
that's why that's her face.
with the very soul of Japanese racing. Afterwards, Japan's passion for expanding toward international racing grew dramatically. Just 3 years later, Manhattan Cafe was set and finished 13th. The following year, Tap Dance City finished 17th. And in 2005, the vibrant sport witnessed deep impact.
Hey, I still think if he wasn't recovering from whatever, hey, he could have won that. He could have won that.
How do I describe Deep Impact? The hero of Japan, the Triple Crown winner, the horse whose odds never once drifted higher than 1.3. The horse redefined what Japanese racing would be.
Oh my goodness, look at that! Oh!
Often felt like an imitation of Europe or America, but with him, Japan found its true identity. And after achieving every honor he could, Deep Impact, carrying the dream of an entire nation, came to challenge the arc.
Guys, you know what this is? You know what this is? You know what this is? Probably not. This has been around for a long time, and I think this went extinct 10 years ago. Yeah. There were still digicams in like 2015, 2016. I had one. Yeah. I use it for video.
The word challenge did not
And it looks like that. This is 10, 15 years before mine, so.
feel right. The 2006 arc was not stacked with invincible
Oh man, 2006. I was a freaking asshole back then.
champions. The ground was firm and perfect for high-speed run.
I know the whole thing is like, Japan, we gave you everything with your best horse and you still couldn't do it. Yeah, but the best horse was sick.
Honors. Japan was certain they were going to win. Deep Impact's odds was driven to 1.0 for a long time in Japan. Even at midnight, the broadcast still had millions tuned in, but the 2006 arc surprised everyone in a way no one expected. Deep Impact was not able to handle the unique demand of Longchamp and only finished third. And days later, his drug test returned positive. Only finished. Impact was not able to handle the unique
that's not his speed, man.
Longchamp and only finished third. And days later,
Or maybe he's just not a good at traveling. That's another option too. But I still chalk it up to he was sick.
Drug test returned positive, although not considered as intentional cheating. His finish still need to be stripped.
That's insane.
What was supposed to be Japan's crowning moment became its greatest humiliation.
I wonder why they didn't run him back the following year, 2007.
It was this very moment the dream turned into a curse. Imagine if your champion, representing your country, sent to conquer the world stage and return with such a scandal.
Oh,
do
it's
you give up
late.
or do you become more determined? The answer is obvious. In 2008, the double crown winner Meisho Samsung competed, finished only 10th. Although all these challenges were the very elite, the result was mostly disappointing. By the 21st century, Japanese racing had fully embraced the path of quick, high-speed racing with a very fast pace. It works spectacularly at Hong Kong. In Dubai, the Japan Cup, once dominated by outsiders, had become untouchable for outsiders. But such strength does not clash well with Longchamp. However, Japan did not quite realize, in fact, the world had not yet realized this fundamental...
Was that Tony Parker?
Japan did not quite realize, in fact, the world had not...
That's Tony... Is that Tony Parker? That looks like Tony Parker.
Into the 2010s, it entered a short period of Phantom Era, a time when, by all logic, they weren't supposed to succeed. Yet, a few exceptions pushed this dream into a new height.
Nakayama Festa ワークフォース2頭が並んでいる外からサラヒラさあNakayama Festa がワークフォースが外からクリネのまたいが来たぞ日本のオルフェーブルだ外からオルフェーブル先頭に変わった
This one hurts the most, man.
Many
Copyright. Oh, fuck.
People know the story of Japan challenging the Ark. This is not new, but number never tells
This is Festa, right? This is Festa.
a full story. Behind these challenges sometimes lies a series of bittersweet, complicated stories, such as Nakayama Festa.
Oh man, and his mom.
Unlike other horses mentioned, Nakayama Festa is not a superstar. In fact, he was bought at a cheap price by Shinichi Izumi for his beloved daughter Nobuko. As a child of
That is so cute as a foal.
there you go, training him was a huge struggle. But the owner Nobuko did not seem to care at all. She adored this horse. She would visit him often, feeding him, whispering with him, and felt as if he had a special connection with her. In time, Nakayama Festa began to wait for his human mother by the door.
This is gonna make me cry, man. We already watched it. Man.
Restless until she arrived. However, after a certain period of time, Nakayama Festa's career dropped dramatically. The reason for that is Nobuko stopped visiting him and Nakayama grew even more violent, unable to maintain even the most basic training. If this continued, he might not even be a racehorse anymore. But on the other hand, Nobuko had been diagnosed with late-stage cancer. Aware that her time was near, she chose to travel to her favorite country, France. Soon passed away. Her father, already 83, inherited all her belongings, including Nakayama Festa. Therefore, Nakayama's team decided to contact him about the horse, and after learning the horse would go rage as he missed Nobuko, the old man was moved and told the team, "Can you please have him live happily after, just like how my daughter would want it to be?" From that day forward, he brought other family members to Nakayama. They whispered to him, played with him, treated him like what Nobuko used to do. And Nakayama Festa, looking around at the family member and not seeing Nobuko's face, as if he understood something, started to calm down and train. And it was the only time Nakayama would actually obey his trainer. The trainer later recalled it as such a miracle. And he also felt something, decided to send Nakayama to the Ark.
I'm sorry I'm not saying anything, but this is just really, it hits hard, man.
Not for the glory of the nation, but simply wanted to have him run on
Yeah,
the soil
France.
Nobuko loved so dearly. In 2010, Nakayama shipped to Longchamp.
So anybody can just go. So that means Württemberg can't.
Alongside Japan's rising star,
Victor
Victor
Pisa.
Pisa.
Oh.
This time, even Japan did not have higher hope on him compared to
Why am I saying,
Victor
oh? I already watched this. I mean, this part
Pisa.
with
In the land
Nakayama.
his owner had dreamed of, Nakayama ran the race that would be written into the history.
中山フェスタがワークフォースが
Damn, that sucks,
中
man.
山フェスタ2番手ワークフォースわずかに先頭ワークフォース先頭中山フェスタ2番手中山フェスタ2番手だ
A year later,
Very soft.
past his peak, Nakayama returned and only finished 11th. Yet his Arc challenge would always be one of the most
Dude, can you imagine if he edged out just a little bit? Oh my goodness. There is no freaking way that they don't at least make a move. My voice is cracking because of this. There's no way they don't make a movie, right? You know, at the beginning of a new era, there is no freaking way. Because that's insane. And you're gonna have like old trainer and new trainer. Old trainer passes away, new trainer he becomes a gambler. That is pretty. Ooh. You can still do that. They can still do that. Holy crap.
romantic pages in Japanese racing.
I'm getting a
In the
bit
same
more
year,
emotional here.
Another big thing happened in Japan. The biggest earthquake in modern
Oh,
Japan
shit.
took place. It was one of the biggest
It is
natural
Orfevre, right?
disasters.
Yep.
If you want to know more about the devastation it caused, you can search it up yourself. But just when the entire nation was mourning in grief, a horse shining like gold
I'm sorry, but this guy's stupid face, the picture of his stupid face like doing that is just, I can't. He is beautiful though.
swept his losing streak, rose to achieve the Triple Crown and Alimakinen, a Grand Slam unseen in the new century that encouraged the entire nation to this
sorry.
sport into a
Oh,
new
man.
height and
Oh,
sparked the
Ikazume.
renaissance of Japanese horse racing. He is the golden tyrant, Orfevre.
Orfevre!
On the track, Orfevre is just the biggest athletic freak.
オルフェーブで失速
Literally a freak.
オルフェーブで失速していきます
Oh,
馬場のかなり外目
oh, gay training.
失速して
Gay training.
In the Hanshin Daishoten, one of his most famous races, where he gave up 15 lengths on final turn, only to reel them all in with frightening ease. After his sensational classic run, once again Japan put their faith onto their Triple Crown winner, jumping into conclusion, Orfevre is the horse that can win.
I just realized that they sent 2 Triple Crown winners and both had reasons of why they lost. And you could chalk it up to Orfevre with his habits like Stay Gold and the jockey, but with Deep, it's like, yeah, he was sick. He and the lungs, aside from the heart, right? That is extremely crucial.
The arc. When the gate opened, because Orfevre was at the most outside gate, he lingered at the very back before unleashing his final spring. And at the final stretch, he easily passed all other competition. The arc belonged to Japan. The dream is real. Psych.
Dude, the way he's going this, right, instead of this, is just...
He decided this is not fun at all. Therefore, veered inward violently, slammed right into the rail that forced a sudden drop of speed, and at the final meters, millions of Japanese viewers experienced that.
Dude, Trev's jockey is like... No, not Trev. This horse jockey is like... Ooh.
Most up and down emotion within seconds.
I still think it would have been. I still think it's good. It's probably, if he won, it's probably by a nose or a neck or a head. Probably a head or a nose. It's still pretty close.
This image of both the horse and jockey looking confusingly at the champion also became an all-time classic. The announcer later on said that, "I have casted him when he dropped his jockey off twice. I have casted him when he stopped mid-race. I casted him when he decided to not run at all. So before the race, I just knew this son of the Stay Gold was going to do something again."
Oh man!
So Japan did what every Japanese company would do. No retirement. You need to
run it back.
Overwork.
Run it back.
However, in 2013, an injury resulted in a long time layoff for him, and when he came back, it was already the arc.
Yeah, that's probably why. But then again, it's Trev. But who knows if he was... I did not know that. Did he say that in the Orfevre video? I think he did. I just can't remember. I've been thinking about a lot of things recently. Oh my god, it's the what ifs, right? What if he didn't have an injury that took that long to heal?
Within his layoff, Derby champion Kizuna also joined the challenge. Not only was Kizuna a super talented horse, France had also witnessed their super horse this year. This time, Orfevre did not choose to linger at the rear and try to aim for a forward position. But by doing that, he was completely boxed in the middle, could not fight his way out. And when he finally found his way out, Trev already started her sprint.
Yeah.
If you have watched the 2013 arc, there's not a single second you would doubt Trev could win the arc. Just like her grandfather Monju, France once again shut down Japan's dream. At the time, Japan was very disappointing. That Orfevre finished second again and Kizuna finished fourth. But all things considered, it really was not that bad, knowing what happened in the future. In 2014, Japan assembled
here we go. Here we go.
Of Gold Ship, Just Away, and Popstar. The first
what the fuck? Why is there a girl group there, man?
time Japan has sent 3 champions into the arc. However, This era still belonged to Trev. Once again, Trev just brought devastation to
This guy was like, I'm gonna do a mini concert, and that's all you're gonna get.
Longchamp with another perfect victory, joining the ranks of history as a two-time ARC champion, where Japan's champions did not even finish in the top 5. The Phantom era was filled with heartbreaks.
Phantom
Second
era?
place after second place. But with El Condo Pasa, Deep Impact and Orfevre, Japan had proven beyond doubt that they were a racing powerhouse. International media began to watch them seriously. Global rating climbed. Respect followed. When you turned on TV at this time, people would actually take these challenges seriously. People thought that in the foreseeable future, the ARC will go to Japan. And so, the Phantom era ended. No one quite realized Japanese racing became too specialized for speed, too finely tuned for that quick, firm turf of home. More horses challenged afterward.
Yeah.
Makahiki in 2016, Satono Diamond in 2017.
Yeah, that sucked.
Both were highly anticipated, but along with Clincher in 2018, they all got double digit. By 2019, Japan sent 3 horses, but in the end, most of the challengers were at the bottom. In 2020, Diadre attempted a long-time overseas campaign like El Condo Pasa, but she could do no better than 8th.
Wait.
2021, the ARC was at the 100th anniversary. Japan also sent
Wait, what?
overseas campaign like in 2020. Diadre attempted a long
Diadre.
overseas campaign like
I don't know who that
Alcon
is.
Pasa, but she could do no better than 8th. 2021, the ARC was at the 100th anniversary. Japan also sent 2 horses in response, Deep Bond and Chronogenesis, which Chronogenesis is a daughter of an ARC winner, but almost like an anime twist. The German horse Torquato Tasso shattered France's fortress in its 100th anniversary as one of
Dude, 100th anniversary, a German horse won.
the biggest upset, and Chronogenesis managed to finish 7th, with Deep Bond
Hey.
finished last. In 2022,
Ooh.
Japan for the first time sent 4 of the challengers. They were title holders, Dodius, Deep Bond, and Stay Foolish. The expectation was immense, but on the heavy
Deep Bond came back.
Champ, all 4 of them got double digit. Years of disappointment had this dream begin to fade, but just when it was fading, 2023, through 7 seas, the daughter of Dream Journey, a horse that had never won a G1, not even a G2, finished 4th. This pleasant surprise reignited the dream. In 2024, Shin Emperor, owned by the CEO of Side Games, was sent to France. Though he finished 12th, the game's global release was a success. Now in 2025, the challenge continues. This year, Japan sent 3 intriguing.
By the way, Byzantine Dream was my pick because he's the older, and I get it. So I know now that 3-year-olds do better than older. I don't care. I didn't care, and he got 5th, right? 5th or 4th? I can't remember. 5th.
runners, which
And Crawdonor just got swallowed. He's good now. He's really, really good now. Like, it's rare, from my understanding, that, like, it seems like the piece of his soul missing that Bogchamp swallowed doesn't really quite bother him.
made the already chaotic art this year even more unpredictable.
Crawdonor.
Today,
Such a cool
Japan has
name.
dominated Hong Kong and Dubai and many other international races. Yet, in France, at Longchamp, their challenge, truth be told, became almost a meme.
Yep.
And still, they always return. Every heartbreak only deepens the legend. Every failure only fuels the next challenger. And through that, international racing becomes more interesting. More people are drawn into the unique culture Japanese racing has developed. Claiming the ARC, this long-time dream will never be given up. And one day, a horse will definitely fulfill this destiny.
Yeah, 100%. I think something in my mind has been floating. Like, I follow this guy Contena on Twitter, and he said something very interesting like a week ago, like 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. But he said something along the lines of, like, he was talking about Kita-san Black, right, as a stallion. And he said that it seems that Kita-san as successful as he is now as a stallion, right? There's so much mileage for from him, and he seems like a good nick, very compatible to European horses, right? So imagine, and there's no way the Japanese have not thought of this. Uh, Imagine having him cover like a Galileo mare or a Frankel mare or like a Camelot mare, like any classic distance European horse, right? If he's really compatible with European horses, ooh, I think that's the answer. Or have a have for some reason Orfevre or Gochip, you know, fart out an abomination. Oh, hey, or maybe, hey, maybe just maybe, Meisho Tabaru. Why was I gonna say Ushima Tesoro? Meisho Tabaru, hey, Take, you know, right? Anyway, I'll see you next one.